pick up this time around. I wonder if they just go tried and true, baby. They get the Sett first pick.
Yeah, Sett has been working very well for them, even with ZS in the first game. It was, obviously if he had Flash, I would have preferred it, but we won't go back onto that particular tangent. But, it has been a staple and is very, very solid engaged tool. And the reason why that particular kind of sentence is very important is that a lot of teams rely on their support to be Mr. CC, Mr. Engage. Yeah. When you have something like the Sett that can take that over, it opens up the door for something like a Lulu Kog'Maw to be able to be picked.
And for the first time of the series, and I don't know if I'm happy about it or not. It kind of feels good, kind of doesn't. We get the Udyr coming through for Rogue Warriors, something that has not been banned away, but hasn't been super high priority either in this series at least. And now with potentially that coming through, a little bit of pace in the early game, a little bit of jungle control, they lock in that Akali.
The Akali's such a strong pick in the meta right now. Does pretty much everything. High mobility, able to assassinate backlines, and does very well into the laning phase as well. Like, yes, we'll get pushed in a little bit in the early levels, but apart from that, does very, very solidly. And for Ultra Prime, they've been kind of shying away from the Lee Sin this entire series, but I feel like if they want to try and take this win, yep, they're going to have to lock that one in. And honestly, this feels like it needs to be in your wheelhouse for both top and mid, because it is something that is just too strong in the meta right now.
Yeah, you definitely need to be looking for that. I just want to point out something we saw on the screen. I love that little grouping of SMLZ fans. They all have the sides. I love it. There's got to be so many SMLZ fans in there from the time that this guy has spent in the league. So I like to see it. Rumble is the pickup for Ultra Prime, though.
Yeah, and again, you're just trying to get your damage profiles going. Hacker back onto an AP jungler. He's pretty much played AP junglers exclusively this entire series with the Lily and the Rumble. So it just opens up the door for you to be able to kind of like obviously flex the Sett and the Lily Sin between mid and top. Keep the people on the side of Rogue Warriors guessing. And again, I don't see a problem with this from ZWuJi. The Ezreal was doing fantastic damage in the first, second, and probably in the third game as well. So now they can ban away things like the Kog'Maw and make sure that SMLZ does not get a favorable lane again.
Yeah, there we go. I like to see some draft adaptation coming through from Rogue Warriors to get the main target off the board. And I do really wonder where the next couple bans go here, especially for Ultra Prime. I was thinking maybe you look at the Engage, you look at the CC, they already take off the Leona. Now, do they commit a second ban to that? That is another question to see. And if they maybe want to go for a little bit focus on the solo lane matchup they have. Rogue Warrior is going to go ahead and ban the Vera. It's been a very prominent ban for them so far. They saved the last two for the ADC of SMLZ.
And honestly, I do agree with this. Like, you're kind of, just limiting the scope of SMLZ.
1v5.
This has been 1v5, 100% SMLZ on the Kog'Maw in the game too. But these are all these different, kind of AD carries that can take over the bot side, that can make Ezreal feel a little bit weaker as you come into it. And we can see now what the side of Rogue Warriors want to do. They've put 8917 onto a couple of different picks so far this series, trying to see what he feels most comfortable with. And this time they're going to put him on the LPL special, the Gnar, up in that top side.
Gonna get some nice combos there, especially. But I just like the Gnar in general for the versatility that it brings to the Rift, that you do have that strength of being able to play back and forth with the mini Gnar, mega Gnar. It's always so influential, especially, and I really like to see that kind of versatility on the Rift itself. This is a pick that would be really interesting. It kind of alludes to maybe what we're looking at in the bot lane, but it is gonna be the big old catfish, Tahm Kench, coming into the fight for Ultra Prime. And with Tahm Kench being picked up, it leaves Jhin to where maybe you can pick it up. Maybe you go for one of these carries that maybe isn't as mobile, can get caught out, but you still have that safety in the lane. You still have that strength in the lane. And honestly, if you're looking for that late game carry again, this would be a stellar pick for SMLZ, and they lock it in.
I was just about to say, like, the Senna is something that it was banned pretty much exclusively by Rogue Warriors in the first rotations. They were not letting it through, and then they finally do. And we do see the Tahm, Kench, Senna, and the Bard on the other end of that. So they're looking to just go full poke in this bot side, try and get as much pressure as they can, and mitigate the kind of, you know, safety you get with the Tahm, Kench, and the Senna. It's going to be a battle of sustain in this bot side, and it's basically going to be a, you know, yes, the later game is, you know, kind of equal on both sides, but the Senna will just become so obnoxious. The healing you're able to kind of combo with it is just insane.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see now how Ultra Prime are able to work with it, but for Rogue Warriors, they have engaged. They have ways of making this work, and for Forge on this Akali, I want to see him pop off.
I need to see the pop off earlier than later, right? Sooner rather than later, because you have Ezreal getting stronger in the bot lane. You have some scaling factors there, but if you can get the influence in mid lane, if you can get a little bit of a lead for Forge, who we said could be the mainstay here for Rogue Warriors, the one that is going to pick up that mantle, the one that can carry the games and be that leader for the team. The Akali's the one to do it on, right? We've seen so many flashy plays throughout the LPL on Akali's, and especially if you get that gold early on, if you get the proactivity on the Akali with the team, that's where it works out the most.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see now how the fights do end up kind of going out and see how they're able to utilize this set. Third time in a row we're seeing it on the side of Ultra Prime. Game 1 didn't really work out amazingly. Game 2, they worked out a little bit better. Actually, a lot better, I would say. In Game 3, now we'll see if they're able to make it work. But I'm curious that we've seen both sides of the coin. Early proactivity, late game kind of, you know, scaling from both these teams. And I want to see now who is going to be able to build up that advantage, especially now that you have the Graspy Undying Senna with the Tahm, Kench on the bot side.
I mean, this bot lane, not gonna lie, is probably gonna be a little boring, but I'm still excited for it, man. I'm still excited to see what happens in the later game. There's maybe a little bias of my ADC play coming through, but we are on to the Rift. Game number 3 between Ultra Prime and the Rogue Warriors. Winner of this game takes their first series of the 2021 LPL Summer Split.
Let the Gios go for a little bit as everyone's starting to get a bit hyped here in Shanghai. And yeah, honestly, this could be a huge... It sounds terrible to say it like this, but what I mean by it is that this could literally be the difference between last and not last.
Yeah,
and this is the level that these two teams seem to be at kind of right now, and it is a good kind of litmus test, good way to look at how they shape up against each other. And for Rogue Warriors, they don't want to be last again. They don't want to be in 17th. They want to be able to kind of push forward, and they've looked good in, you know, kind of letting ZWuJi on this Ezreal, getting him able to kind of push forward and become that nuisance and that big carry that they need him to be. Now it's up to Forge to really solidify that setup and kind of say, look, right, I can also be a carry, I can also be a threat, and Ultra Prime need to be able to mitigate that.
And that's what I keep digging into it, but man, Forge is the guy that needs to shine through here. And you said it a little bit, but like, you're on the Akali now. You've had a couple good games, honestly. Even the Lucian game, y'all didn't win, but you still look pretty good on the Lucian. You were able to set some things up, but you've got the Akali. You've literally are sitting in the captain's chair right now, and you're ready to go on the Akali, and I want to see that execution come through. But it's a question of how you get that early game, where those avenues come through, because you do have some solid pieces on the side of Ultra Prime, right? And finding those avenues for it is going to be the difficulty, but you got to believe in IceCoke and the combination Forge.
See if they're able to make anything go for it. Right now, it is going to be pretty much farming. Both sides of jungle, both Rumble and Udyr have almost identical times in terms of their farms, so see why they're kind of such a huge priority in these early laning phases, able to get themselves on the map. Oh, Forge, that was unfortunate.
Yeah,
no one saw it.
It was just not going to see. It was just, you know, there was a smudge on the screen, like the internet cut
it happens. It happens, but yeah, like there shouldn't be too huge of engages. Very difficult to dive either side of the bot lane. Very difficult to do anything against the Akali unless Forge really does overextend. There's, you know, again, very much at level 6 when around these dragon fights we should be maybe seeing something, you know, massive. But Hacker might also find himself a little bit of an advantage if he's able to kind of maybe catch an overextending Akali or maybe an overextending Sett.
I was just about
Irma
to say,
might be a bit of an issue.
The only like thing in this that's a little bit crazy, a little bit different, something that can really be a path forward for Rogue Warriors is the roaming of QiuQiu on this Bard. Being able to get that influence early is really nice on the Bard, and knowing that the Tahm Kench Senna is just going to stay in lane, going to be a solid piece down there, you can look to get those 4-man fights around the other sides of the map.
Ooh, a little bit dangerous there.
So
Hacker
close,
almost
yeah.
got caught out. He was sitting on a ward, so they knew exactly where he was, and everyone started roaming up for him. He resets, gets himself back into his jungle as quick as he can. We'll have a little bit of an earlier reset, as we did see IceCoke try go for that trade as ZS. Dropping down the W, seeing if he can get any extra trade, and should be having a pretty decent time in this lane. It is a fine one for him to be able to max that W, to be able to clear that wave and push himself into an advantageous kind of roaming kind of setup for the top lane.
That's something else I want to talk a little bit about is this Lee Sin pick. Hasn't been in this series so far. It does finally come through for ZS, who, they've been trading the Sett, the Nocturne up there. Now you get the Lee Sin and some real carry potential up there as well on that. And really finding your groove in the matchup against the Gnar is going to be very crucial to being able to get out of that lane, help the rest of the team, especially when you're looking at those skirmishes in the jungle.
Speaking of skirmishes, we're actually going to see Irma pop the TP in bot side, and he's still running.
He's running so fast, Penguin. He's running so fast. But not going to be able to catch QiuQiu and ZWuJi, but they do get a play potentially down here on the bot side, unless the Rogue Warriors are able to move up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer for that to go down, but still, you're starting to see the movements from Ultra Prime. You're starting to see kind of where their heads are at, but here's where Rogue Warriors' heads are at. They're in bot lane, looking to take down your carry, and Smlz. He's going to gobble him up. Smlz flashes out of it, but it doesn't matter. IceCoke gets the first kill, or at least gets a kill. Not first kill, but they get a second one right afterwards as well to ZWuJi.
Yeah, that was just really good use of the teleport. Irma tried to use his on bot side. That means the Forge has a teleport advantage. He knows that he can go roaming towards his bot side. They pick up 2 nice kills there, and they burn all the summoners from Ultra Prime. Let's have a look at the replay of what happened on mid lane. Oh, he just gets landed by, flashed in, Q lands, boom. Oh, the flash was so close, but a nice little safeguard there onto the ward means that ZS able to clean that one up. And this is why you pick something like Lee Sin. He's able to make something that is seen as a super safe lane like the Gnar not so safe.
Yep, so it's kind of alluding to is just the strength that can come through from a pick like that. Especially, Penguin, when you start getting kills, because Lee Sin, it gets a little scary when he can just make plays any which way he wants to, and you start breaking ankles on that champion. But I want to see if maybe we see Rogue Warriors try to put out that flame a little bit. I don't expect so. I still expect them to put more focus towards this mid lane, towards this bot lane, as we've already seen.
Yeah, and that's the thing, really, isn't it? It's the fact that the Lee Sin can make those plays, can make, kind of things happen should anything go, if it's needed by his team. But of course, for the 8-9-1-7, he still has the big Martyr ultimate. He's still got ways of coming back into this, and it is still a relatively even trade, I would say. In terms of top lane and bot lane, in terms of everything, how everything went, the Senna Tahm Kench combination will still scale. It doesn't really need to win that much, and even then, like you can see there, ShiauC is almost identical on CS, only 5 behind at the moment, so not really hurting that much in the grand scheme of things, but will be feeling pretty confident as they move in back in towards this lane.
When you're talking about confidence, Ultra Prime were confident in taking that first dragon a little earlier than last game, so very nicely done by them to move forward on that, knowing they had the window open to them. Will be that Ocean Dragon to start us off, and especially a little bit of regen early on for this Senna Tahm Kench lane is going to feel really nice. But I want to see IceCoke get active now. I want to see something come down for him, and really, honestly, I want to see the gold go into Forge.
Yeah, we talked about how we wanted to see Forge being active in the early game. He's done that so far. Went to the bot side, was able to help pick up those 2 kills, so he has himself 2 assists. And we can see there IceCoke just passing in through the mid lane, knows he's going to want to be able to try and force out this wave so Forge can get a free again, maybe look for a recall, or maybe look to try and roam towards top side to try and get that Rift Herald.
They have already sniffed out that they were trying to start this Rift Herald, though, as ZS moves down, gets the scrying brush, but nothing gonna come of it. They can't fight over this because priority was gained by Rogue Warriors in the lanes, although Hacker might have something else to say here. Is about 3,500 health is that Rift Herald. They've got Irma coming up. I think they've decided or realized the trouble that they could be in. As they've got a lot of missing members over Rogue Warriors. Irma goes in anyways. Showstopper on IceCoke. IceCoke can't do anything really. Here's the late TP now coming in. But what's it really gonna do? And yeah, unfortunately for Rogue Warriors, they get kind of caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
And honestly, this is like a better version of exactly what happened in game 1, I believe, or 2. I can't remember. Actually, it was game 1, where Ultra Prime like overextended to try and defend against Rogue Warriors taking the Rift Herald and got caught as well as giving away the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
This time round, they get themselves a kill on the retreat while also, you know, knowing that they can't fight that Rift Herald. So definitely learning a little bit more in the process. As we can see now, Hacker moving up towards this top side and maybe looking for a little bit of a dive. No equalizer though.
Gnar bar about halfway full there, yeah, but doesn't have really the tools needed to complete that dive. Just making sure to push 8917 off of the wave, get a little bit of plate gold there for ZS as well. Forge doing pretty good on the trades in mid lane. QiuQiu just roaming up to make sure can be there just in case. I love the movement so far. Nothing has really come through for the Bard, but the heads are there, the movements are there, and if you can get those in the next couple minutes, you know, 5-10 minutes, you're able to find some of those kills, at least even one. That feels really good for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, if even kind of, you know, anything down towards, like, you know, turret pushes or anything like that, you have, of course, got the Tempered Fate to be able to stop anyone from over-aggressing as such, as we can see there at the bot lane. You actually have IceCoke now finding himself in the jungle, has got a pink ward to sniff out Hacker. As,
here comes Forge. Forge is coming down.
Yeah, they might look for a kill here. Forge is here.
Yeah, he's taking a ton of damage. They're going to TP and Equalizer. As Rogue Warriors have to head for the hills, they're going to go ahead and use the Magical Journey away. And Zett has almost got the connection on the Sonic Wave, but not going to do it. And after all is said and done, nothing really happens. Just smoke clears, and you see that you've got the flash burned actually for Rogue Warriors on IceCoke.
Yeah, but you burned the TP there from ZS, so you can see a lot of free time going up on this top side. 8917 able to pick up himself a plate and a couple of minions for free, so he's back up in terms of that regard. Might be ahead in XP as well, but not falling too far behind despite that kill in the First Blood early game. But again, very kind of quick decisions for Rogue Warriors. They realize, like, look, as soon as the TP comes out, we need to leave, we need to get out of here. And I do like that from them. And, you know, being very tempered, making sure they're not overextending, and just trying to get as much as they possibly can without giving up, you know, anything untoward.
Yeah. And there's a dragon coming up in about a minute. We saw heavy focus from Ultra Prime early on down there, at least at the 7.5 minute mark. And now I would like to see Rogue Warriors transition down that way. You already see IceCoke completed the back, is going down towards that bot side of the map. You're getting a reset there as well from QiuQiu and the bot lane from Ultra Prime. So I wonder if we're going to get that first big clash around this dragon. I mean, we are 2-2. It's been a little bit breakneck, at least comparatively to last, where we're seeing kind of stillness, calm, cool, collected. This time it's a little bit of both. You're getting a little craziness, a little bit of calm, cool, collected. So I want to see how this next dragon pans out and where that focus, or who takes that focus early on.
Well, dragon in 20 seconds. You do not have TP on ZS, so he's kind of like left alone on this top side. It will be 8917 who will be able to join, not the Lee Sin. So he's going to want to try and keep that Gnar in his vision at all times. The only full item that's been finished up right now has been that Night Harvester for the side of Hacker. But Rift Herald in this bot side, you can see the pressure is just about the plates right now for the side of Rogue Warriors as they try to, you know, build themselves a little bit of a vision around this dragon pit.
You start up the dragon over the side of the wall. Hacker's right there as well. ZS on his way down. Again, like you said earlier, doesn't have the TP, but can provide some presence here. Ultra Prime moving up towards the bot side of the fight. There's the equalizer to go on to ZWuJi. IceCoke has to get away from the Tahm Kench. The dragon already goes over, and that's the second dragon just picked up by Ultra Prime. Pretty much free delivery here for them by Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a little bit of a waste, really, for Zett, or for 8917 to really TP to that. You just lost Mega. You didn't have any Gnar bar built up to try and, you know, build yourself back up into a Mega Gnar. You're still waiting on first items like the Divine Sunder, which just got finished up there by ZWuJi. I feel like it's fine for you to give this one up and then fight at the next one. Yes, they don't lose anything. They should be fine in the long term, but looking at it from that point of view, it didn't really look like it was ever going to really work out for them. And now you're kind of losing the pressure around the rest of the map. As Smlz, tempered fate, but he should be fine.
Yeah, I think there's a little preemptive there from QiuQiu, just maybe looking to catch out Smlz, but luckily ShiauC was right there just in case, and that's the presence of Tahm Kench that feels so good for Ultra Prime. Here comes a showstopper, and Forge went the wrong way there, has to flash over the wall, and he gets out by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, has to use the flash and the perfect execution there. Oh, not quite, not quite. Still missing out with that ultimate there, as we can see Hacker towards this top side. And Ultra Prime, they're starting to feel good. Even though they are a little bit behind in gold, they're the ones that are kind of being proactive. They're the ones that are making the plays around this, you know, kind of early mid game.
I really, really like to see, especially with the composition that they picked up, right? You're getting that proactivity. And then you always have the insurance card down in the bot lane. You always have Smlz getting stronger, having the Senna stack up for him. ShiauC as well, just going to be that protective bubble for the Senna. And it's Rogue Warriors just trying to find chips in the armor, trying to find ways under their skin here, and finding something that can get them a little bit ahead here, keep that pace up for themselves, and not let them get outscaled, right?
You still have a lot of damage with the Akali and the Ezreal later in the game, but yeah, like the Senna Tahm Kench makes it so difficult to make that damage stick, especially considering you're just looking to try and hit Mystic shots off to the side. However, with the pressure they have garnered for themselves and the resets that are coming in, they are going to try and look for this Rift Herald. But
Hacker's
Hacker is
here, though,
around.
man. He's always here. He's always there. He just knows what the path he's going to be. He knows that if he shows his face, it's going to put a little bit more pressure on Rogue Warriors when trying to execute, but it does not come to anything this time around. Rogue Warriors will be able to pick up their objective here when they started that Rift Herald. See if they want to just use it mid, perhaps, but that bot lane's getting a little bit worried for that tower. Oh, they actually went in for the Tempered Fate in mid, but not going to find the follow-up to it.
Yeah, not able to get anyone kind of going with that one there. You need, again, you very little engage outside of the Gnar, Mega Gnar coming out from the side of Rogue Warriors. So, but again, you know, this has kind of been the story of this series with the Ultra Prime saying, look, we don't care about Rift Heralds. You can have it. We'll just keep farming bot side. And they're sitting on a ward, mate. ShiauC probably realizes as everyone's just kind of pathing towards him and just kind of backs himself away. But again, Ultra Prime very happy to trade, you know, that objective for time, experience, and money in that bot side, but with the Rift Herald dropping in mid, nobody here to really defend it. It's almost certainly going to fall.
Got about half health on the tower. Rift Herald does spawn there. Actually, stop for just a moment. But there's the charge. There's the take. First tower goes over to Rogue Warriors.
First tower mid, obviously very important to try and, you know, gain control, especially when you're down on dragons. Should give you a lot of pressure in that regard. You see the tongue lash missing. And
they missed both of them, man. A little bit of a feel side. They're getting them out of the way early on.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep it for the big team fights, but yeah, right now, like Ultra Prime, they should be feeling pretty comfortable just to be able to keep scaling up. The Tahm Kench, the Senna, they'll both be scaling very, very nicely. ZSism towards this top side is going to take away this tier 1 in the top lane. IceCoke goes back knowing that, look, we can't really go for this. We can't really fight this right now. We need to go for the resets, and we need to get back onto the map because that dragon is up in 45 seconds, and they lost mid-tower anyway. Yeah,
that's really unfortunate. Just kind of Rogue Warriors getting pulled across the map by Ultra Prime, and as you said, can't give up that dragon stole point, right? Like this is pretty big for at least the tempo control for Ultra Prime, and they've done so good at making sure they are there for the fights. They are there when they need to take the objectives. Now they've got the freedom to kind of let it go if they need to, and can play around that.
See if you want to go for 16 seconds. You have got a TP on ZS, and again, all the flashes are available except for the mid laners. Mid laners obviously did have a bit of a fight there earlier, and they will not have that one available. So for Irma and for Forge, they might be in a little bit of trouble. They both have alternate waves of getting out, as Irma might be in a little bit of trouble as everyone starts piling into the spot side. He should be fine. But yeah, like this is a big dragon right now for the side of Rogue Warriors. You can't let this one go.
8917 just starts it up to get it going, gets the party started here, handing out the refreshments, almost having the Mega Gnar bar full here. Dragon's already gone. There's the TP. That's going to be back behind after double TP now coming in. Ultra Prime looks like they want to go ahead and take the fight. They've got the way forward. Equalizer comes across. Just gonna set a line of scrimmage here. Now they go for the re-engage. Forge is looking to pop up, but Forge gets popped. As ZWuJi is gonna be able to take down Irma, and now we have the 4v4 happening on the other side. Look at ZS though. The big Mega Gnar ulti's gonna come through, but look at the damage from Hacker. He's gonna pick up a double, follow up the Sonic Wave. ZS looking for a third. Can't find it off the back of it, but they might get under towered here. You've got 4 members, you got Tahm, Kench, you got everybody here. This is a little bit wonky from Ultra Prime, but they really want to go for it. Dawning Shadow comes out, they get the kill they needed, and they're going to go forward for ZWuJi. One more strike, and that'll do it as well. Another kill for Hacker, who all of a sudden, off the back of that craziness, is 5-0.
Massive fight there for Ultra Prime. They lose the dragon. They were just a little bit too late on the trigger to be able to try and contest it, but they make sure that the escape plan from the side of Rogue Warriors was just not good enough. Now you can pick up all those kills, you pick up the tower, you can reset with all this lovely gold, and you can see here the 2 TPs are coming in. They're just a little bit away, and it's actually the Temper Fate that kind of baits in Rogue Warriors. They haven't quite got the Mega Gnar. Great equalizer there to try and just separate and slow people down, and then it's just a bit of a scrap. Forge, yeah, he thinks he has somebody there, but immediately gets taken down so quickly and out of the fight, so he has to back away. And this is just a native 4v4. There's nothing else to it. Great Gnar ult there from 8917, but he's too low, and he's just being slowed down constantly by these Senna Qs, and the rest is pretty much history.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Go ahead and write it in the history books, sign it. Because that was a heck of a fight by Ultra Prime, and really just the decision making for me was really interesting in that fight for both sides, right? You had the re-engage from Rogue Warriors. They felt really confident in it, but Forge gets popped. But then the calmness in the moment for Ultra Prime to realize what's happening, the back and forth of the fight, but then to press forward when they needed to and be able to seize that one forward, even though they did lose that dragon. Doesn't matter when you can get that much gold on Hacker. He's now sitting on 8 stacks as well in the Dark Seal.
He might turn that into a Magi Soul Stealer as well. It depends on how the next fight one goes. But yeah, like right now, this Rumble is so far accelerated. You don't really have the magic resistance on anyone to deal with this equalizer, and even combo that with the fact that the Morello's Grievous Wounds will just be stopping any kind of healing whatsoever makes this such a potent combination. And for Hacker, he is going to be very pivotal for for Ultra Prime if they want to be the ones to come out with the win today.
They definitely are looking for it, at least. As we said at the beginning of this 3rd game and at the beginning of the series and everything, it's first win of the summer split here for either one of these teams, and you know that means a lot. Even in the grand scheme of things, it might just be a drop in the bucket. It is a very emotional, very driven drop, if you will.
Yeah, you don't, this is probably the closest these 2 teams are gonna, realistically come within, victory for themselves. If you're looking at some of the other teams that be playing, even some of the mid-pack teams, that they're just not really gonna be up to scratch to try and take down, and especially for someone like Rogue Warriors, who had a very disappointing spring split. You do not want to continue that into summer, and 2 quick losses would not be the greatest of starts for them. But right now, you're looking at Ultra Prime in prime condition, in prime position to be able to take themselves to their first win and to bring Rogue Warriors to their 2nd loss.
I absolutely love what you did there. Gotta use the names in there. Gotta get the branding going. But yeah, it's interesting to me that we've seen a lot of fighting, a lot of scrapping. It's been primarily around the mid lane, around the objectives at least, or mostly the dragons, if you will. And now with about 50 seconds until the next dragon comes up, another soul point possibility for Ultra Prime. Rogue Warriors really need to set themselves up yet again for this one. And make sure you're taking the fights that you want to take. Forge seemed to go in a little bit on his lonesome there, just trying to initiate something, try to be the catalyst for his team. But if you can kind of buy your time and be calm and patient, kind of like Ultra Prime were in that last fight, I think things work out and pan out a little bit differently for Rogue Warriors composition.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have that kind of time to build up, and they don't really have the patience. They don't have the time for the patience. There's going to be another dragon spawning in 20 seconds, and that's when this gets a little scary. We mentioned it a couple of times, and they set the rip up a little bit too far. Man. He's gonna reset there, but 10 seconds till this dragon does spawn. And it's actually, again, Rogue Warriors who are in position to be able to win. Both TPs available, all flashes are there, all ultimates are available.
And Rogue Warriors already started up. Same game as last time around, right? ZWuJi is there popping shots into the dragon. There's the equalizer, feeling like deja vu here. The dragon is stolen away, and that's sole point for Ultra Prime. They get out of dodge after that fight as well. Rogue Warriors are trying to find something. They're scratching, they're clawing, but they can't find the engage that they wanted. Now maybe 8917 gets engaged on. Okay, not going to follow that one up as he gets out with the jump. Rogue Warriors just kind of get the rug pulled out from underneath them.
Yeah, they were a bit separated in that one. They were trying to look for a pinch where they could jump in with 8917 and the Mega Gnar. They were looking to try and get Dragon and jump straight into a team fight, but when the Dragon goes away and then you're getting slowed down by the equalizer, your Tempered Fate it comes out a bit too early. It's all a bit all over the place there for Rogue Warriors, and they just give over the objectives, saying, oh, thank you very much, we'll take that one for free. And now for Rogue Warriors, you're looking down the barrel of 4 minutes time. You've got to fight at this Mountain Soul. If you have a Mountain Soul now on top of a Tahm Kench Senna, Akali can't kill anyone. Akali can't do anything. She's just going to be hitting brick walls effectively and just jumping in and immediately having to ult back out. It's just not going to work for her. As I say that, they're looking for an engaged Forge.
I will say the Forge, he hasn't been able to blow anybody up this game. There have been really, like, you've got 3 assists, you've got some damage on the Akali, right? But there hasn't been those crazy, insane plays on the Akali where you're literally seeing like the 1v2s, 1v3s, where you can pick apart teams piece by piece. It's just not there yet for Forge.
Yeah, and you can see right now they're kind of feeling like they need to make something happen, so they're hovering around this Baron area. They're trying to see if they can get something, but the equalizer down just to try and poke people down. But look at Irma on the backside.
Yeah, he's on the back. You got Forge flanking too, but the fight's already going to be gone. Irma, showstopper into the fight. 8917 is forced out. Big A-maker, but look at Forge. He's on his lonesome yet again. Here's the re-engage at least by Ultra Prime. They want to find it. Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
ZS with the Sonic Wave, and they're going to follow this through. Dawning Shadow, they're coming across. Rally the flags because this is Ultra Prime taking it to Rogue Warriors. What a fight, and that's an easy Barret.
And what a way to do it. Not only do you get 4 kills, but you get the Baron. You can now go back onto the map, push out these waves. They're already pushing in your favor anyway, so this is just all perfect for the side of Ultra Prime. They're the ones that are coming out so far ahead of this. They're going to be able to balloon this 4,000 gold lead into probably 7 or 8, but this is just desperation for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah.
They think they have the flank there, but you're being flanked yourself. There's Irma coming in. He's got the Stride Breaker, and he just jumps straight down, makes sure the IceCoke cannot get away, and a great Dragon's Rage kick to stop the engage there from Forge, forcing him to flash out, forcing him to get away from this entire fight. And then a flash kick lands it, and that's just go signs for everybody. Everyone from the side of Ultra Prime is saying, go, go, go. We win this fight. They do not have the Hellfires. They do not have the damage to kill us, and they're just able to clean up house.
Man, when you see all those flashes on the same cooldown for both teams, you're like, something fishy just happened. You see everybody flashing away or flashing forward at least, and now Ultra Prime is taking complete control of this game. The thing I want to point out about that is Forge tried so hard to find an engagement, even forcing it, and was just forced into the same situation he's been in all the other team fights. You have ZS right in front of your face. You have Irma right there. You can't take the fight. You can't get onto the one member you want to get on, which is Smlz.
And right now, I wouldn't even say the one who's in Smlz. I'd say if you would get Hacker out of this game,
or
it would
even,
be fantastic for him. Yeah, like just anyone who can do damage.
Hacker, though.
That's the thing. It's like he's just... He's already a full item. There's the Tempered Fate. Hits absolutely nothing. There is an equalizer, though, to force the disengage from everyone on Rogue Warriors. And right now, you just can't do anything about this. Rogue Warriors, you're just too far behind. The Senna Tahm Kench is just going to be too much.
Forge was looking for the play. ZS almost goes to the Dragon Rage kick back to the team. Not going to find it this time around. They got 50 seconds for that Mountain Soul to come on the board. And Ultra Prime already looking to push out bot lane, try to potentially break this tier 2 tower if they want to, while they're waiting for that dragon to spawn.
Still waiting, but they still have a bit of Baron buffs. So they're going to have a minute of that to be able to push this one. And this is not the turret you want to die at, Rogue Warriors. If you can get it engaged, good for you, but this is not the one you want to die defending, as the cannon minion is going to be a little bit... You can see the damage going down. The equalizer comes across as well. And
that's going to force reset.
It's just... Yeah, it's going to force resets, and that equalizer's on such a short cooldown that we're going to see another minion wave come in. They're probably going to be able to have enough just to be able to take down this tier 2. I will say, not the greatest of Baron power plays, only 2,500 gold, and they are going to commit the TP to it as well just to make sure, but they're not even going to commit to this one. They know they have the Mountain Soul, they know they can want to look for this fight.
The Dragon already started up. Here's the TP coming in from 8917. Dragon is going to get
nice
tempered fate by some time. Dragon got 4,500 health here. Here comes the engage from Rogue Warriors, though. Bit split as you've got Irma taking on 8917. IceCoke just running through the battlefield. Dragon's already gone. Now you got the Mountain Soul. Look at the shields. And there's already chaos through the ranks of the Rogue Warriors. They are getting decimated. They are getting obliterated. And Ultra Prime are shining through. They're looking for blood here. They're going straight for it. That's a huge show maker, if you will, in ZS and Irma coming through. It's going to be a huge win for Ultra Prime. They're taking it to the towers. They're looking for the inhibs, and the death timers are big on the side of Rogue Warriors.
That Showmaker was over in LCK, but here he is in the LPL playing on top of Sett for Ultra Prime, and this is going to be the win. They get their first series win of summer 2021, and great way to bring it back.
Absolutely wondrous. After that first game, we had some questions for sure for Ultra Prime, but they have silenced those questions. They have shown us 2 back-to-back dominating games against Rogue Warriors, and they will give themselves that leg up, as you said.
This is a huge win for them. Like we said, this could be 2 of the bottom place teams. This could be, and it sounds awful to say, but this could be a battle of the last place teams.
Yeah.
So for Rogue Warriors, you're still 0-2 against a team that would have been of roughly the same